Hey man, we not gonna waste no time. We just gonna get into this. Go and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna be reacting to a conversation with Nicki Minaj. Hey man, y'all already know how I feel about the Queen, so we ain't gonna waste no time. We just gonna watch this because I'm hype. All right, real quick before we get started. Here's the food I got. I hope you got your popcorn. Know what I mean? Let's see, cause you don't really see too many Nicki Minaj interviews, all right? And I'm not gonna be pausing it. We just gonna watch this through, all right? Let's get into this.
How are you?
I am well. I'm blessed and
Highly favored.
highly favored, yes.
I have so much to talk to you about. Where do I start? Where do I start with you? I start with you at where I start often with you is our BET Cypher,
Okay.
right? I focused there. I think that was '09. Somewhere in that area. Mm-hmm. It was me, it was you, it was Wale, it was a few people there. And word was around. Nicki is in this cipher. Yeah. Word was around.
Okay.
Nicki coming, she spit, she rap, you better have your bars right. It was all of
No,
that.
I'm
telling you, I'm telling you
okay.
what Webb was saying back then. He sends his love, of course.
Okay.
And then I had my little camera. And I was filming. We did some filming afterward. I handed you the cigarette. But when I watch it today, to see your evolution and to see my evolution with the Queen's roots and how it just all intermingles, it's like beautiful. And then I go to your Instagram and you post '08 Nicki and 2022 Nicki.
Isn't that crazy? Out of nowhere, I just happened to post that, yeah.
But what does that Nicki say to that Nicki?
I wish that then I would have appreciated more things. I wish I would have appreciated myself more, my look more, that raw talent that wasn't so jaded and tainted with the ridicule from other people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Even that early.
well, yeah, that early, I was still in that good place where artists are, where we are when we just start getting a little bit known, and we're thinking, oh, I'm just about to do what I love and make people happy, and then before all of the other stuff comes in, you know what I'm saying? For label stuff, or you know, and remember, social media was just beginning when I started, so I was like everybody. I was a lot of people's guinea pig. I was one of the first people to be shitted on the internet, on social media, like non-fucking stop. Every day I would go on, and it was some new story, made up story, or bad picture, or it wasn't acceptable to have surgery at all or anything. Even though, and at that time I had never had surgery. I had ass shots. Which, till this day, I realize, even what I did, and even with me not consulting with anyone to do something like that, how insane that was. Like, it's not that you go to a doctor, a professional person. No, it's some random person.
Yeah, shorty in the Bronx.
Comes in. I was in Atlanta
Queens.
at the time. And actually what happened was I kept on being around Wayne and them. And at that time, Wayne, he always talking about big booties, or Wayne would have like a new chick in the studio every session. So it was always a new big booty.
Creative support. That's what I like to call it.
A new big booty there.
A muse.
Right. Actually, yes.
Muse.
Actually, it was. They were his muses.
You like to look to the side and see something with some ass sitting there while
That's
you're trying to
right.
come up with a line.
That's right. And yes, I want to make sure I don't downplay those women, because they have a big part in the journey of a rapper's career. You know what I'm saying? Because when they are out there, they would give him that fuel. Them smiling, them listening. He would do stuff and then just see organically what they would respond
Of
to,
course.
right? All of those things. So they were his muses, but I just was around them all the time, and I was like sister. I was like the little sister with Wayne and Mac and all these boys, you know, Jay Mills and Gutta and all of them. And all I would hear them talking about is big butts. And I didn't feel complete or good enough, good as them, as those girls, because I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is what you're supposed to look like in the rap culture, and I don't look like that. And now,
but that was you telling yourself that, and not anyone else saying that to you.
No, yeah, they never told me that. Well, no, I'm lying. I think Wayne, and I think they said stuff sometimes jokingly.
Jokingly.
But to a young girl or up and coming rapper or anything like that, when it's from someone like Lil Wayne, it matters, you know, like, so even if they're joking, they don't know that the person that is there in that room with them is not finding it funny. They're thinking that, now that I'm older, I understand. Sometimes you'll say something in front of someone and you're thinking that they know that they're pretty, or they know that they're smart, or they know that they're talented or whatever. You're thinking that this is what this person thinks about themselves, you know? So you'll say certain things around them or to them. But a lot of times you don't know how insecure a person is or what their insecurities are. So when you say certain things, if around women especially, you can never take them back. You know what I'm saying? So where they might have been playing with me, probably thinking, oh, she's confident, she's good in her own skin, they don't know probably that I always had that insecurity. So they're just joking. They didn't mean any harm, but it wasn't a joke to me.
That is crazy, yo. Already 6:34 in this interview, and like Nicki is showing how she is a human being. It's so crazy that we put these people on like a pedestal to the point where we don't think about their mental health. Like Nicki just confessed to an insecurity, making her more real. Now, I mean, that I don't know about y'all, but I like to see celebrities do that. Like, I don't like to feel like they're just holier than thou and nothing phases them. I like to see this vulnerable side of them, you know, because it makes me and people around me and people that support her feel comfortable with their insecurities as well. That everybody has insecurities. As perfect as we watch Nicki Minaj and we're like, wow, like she has all this money, she's beautiful, nice body, everything. She just confessed that her body was one of her insecurities. And I mean, and nobody knew that back then. So while the learning lesson I want you to get from that right there is that everybody has insecurities. Everybody goes through some sort of, I wish this was better about me. You understand? So I really want you guys to just take that from everything she just said. I guess we'll watch some more of this. Now I mean, but I really want you guys to take something away from the fact that she just confessed an insecurity. So where you may look at somebody and think that they're perfect, we all have something that we look at we don't like about ourselves, all right? And also, take heed to what you say to somebody as well. Like she said, Lil Wayne and whomever, they didn't know how they was affecting her with her words, although it was coming off in a joking manner. But at the same time, it was something that actually bothered her. Now, I mean, so take heed to how you may be coming off to somebody, because life is about perspectives. If somebody perceives themselves a certain type of way, but they give you a different perception, you know, in real life, you may not know how you're coming off, you know. So also be careful for that too, you know. But this is fire. This is fire that she's being this vulnerable this early.
You know, I was laughing, but I didn't find it funny.
Mm-hmm. And that was the experience then. I ask because today it almost seems like there is a female rapper starter kit.
Thank you.
That you have to have before you come in.
Absolutely.
I try to stay out of women's business, but
it's rappers' business.
And that's the thing. So what do you think about even the evolution of that? From it being a joking thing to Wayne saying it to you to now would be like, all right, we can't even, it don't matter that you can spit. It don't matter that you look great, you feel great. For us to back you, You gotta.
You know what it is, Joe? I don't think it's the men really anymore, especially. I think it's the women. I think it's the girls, what their perception of a female rapper is. And they think this is what I have to look like. You know, like I remember I would never see any female rapper wearing pink hair. Pink hair.
Let me just say something, and this is the last time I'm cut it off. But what's so beautiful about interviews to me is it separates, like Charleston White would say, it separates the character, which is Nicki Minaj, from who she actually is. I believe her real name is like Onika or something like that. But from who she actually is, we see the character, and then there's somebody behind the character. The person behind the character has insecurities. The person behind the character has real life feelings. Like, just take heed to what exactly is going on right now. It is the person that is beyond the character that is talking to us right now. That's why this is so beautiful, because this is not all of the antics and all of the brrr and all that, you know, meow and all that other stuff that sounds, you know, Nicki be making or whatever. Although we enjoy Nicki, seeing her talk just as a person and explain herself, this is an element I've never seen her in.
Hair became a part of that starter kit. Every female rapper will put on a pink wig at some point. And I remember that was just the Nicki Minaj thing. That's why when I said pink wig, thick ass, it was, oh, that's a iconic Nicki Minaj line, because that's what she wears. Now it's everybody, pink wig, thick ass, right?
Do you hold yourself accountable for any of it?
Yes. And I used to say, well, because I was one of the first people saying, oh, I'm not these people's parents. But now I get it. I look at it from a different perspective now, because superstars inadvertently become role models, no matter what.
Right.
You can be the weirdest druggie in the world. If they like your music, they're listening to it over and over and over. It's programming. And they might try some of those things they hear you talk about. I remember I had a conversation with Future one time in the studio. And he said something that I will never forget. And he laughed while he said it. He was like, yeah, you know, people be thinking I do people be thinking I'm really doing a lot of drugs because I rap about it all the time. But they don't even be knowing I'm a lightweight. I said,
You gotta
in my
separate
head.
the character from the person. People don't do that.
Because there are a lot of people that are huge Future fans, for instance. And that's how they're going to feel closer to him, because they're doing what they're hearing him rap about. Not knowing that he
ain't on it like that.
Not like that, no. So that's why it's important. But you can't fault an artist. See, that's the thing. Just because you say you are a role model doesn't mean you're telling someone you're bad. Even though we are role models, it's like, how can you tell a rapper you're bad because you rap about that and you didn't clarify in your music what drugs or how much drugs or what, it's art. Okay, that would really, and I want to stress this, because I know right now they're in court talking about how, their
lyrics,
right,
and their impact. Can we use them?
That's insane. Could you imagine if we held film directors accountable for all the fucking murders they put in their movies?
And actors.
And actors. Can you imagine?
It's all
And the
art.
director of the movie. And who actually wrote that line right here in this? Because whoever wrote that, what?
Okay, I'll offer some pushback.
That's a fact.
Okay.
If Bruce Willis goes and kills 50 people in a movie, no one says a word. The second that he does it in real life, we might have to go back and look at that movie and make it applicable in court. No?
But we wouldn't. We wouldn't. Rap is the only genre of music, first of all, in my opinion. Rap is the only culture that from the beginning of time has been vilified. Like, from the very beginning, we have been treated like the bad guy.
I think what Joe Budden is trying to say is a lot of stuff that's seen in the movies don't manifest into real life from those characters or from the writer. But a lot of times nowadays when rappers are rapping, they're rapping on something they actually did. They're talking about people that are real life deceased, that have really lost their lives. So comparing, it was a good comparison to me at first, but then I thought about it like, yeah, that is true. Like, people are rapping and confessing. When people make movies, like directors and stuff like that, it's usually based off of a true story, but it's not correlated directly to something that usually people don't know about, whether or not it's true or not. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like we kind of know that's fake versus what's in the songs. It all just sounds like confessions.
We have.
Well, we were the stepchild since inception. Fact.
Yeah. So they've been blaming us for stuff forever, since the beginning. So it's not like they do that to actors. It would be different if y'all always point a finger at actors, and then Bruce Willis does something, and then we say, oh, see what he was doing in his movie? No, Bruce Willis doesn't wear a target on his back every day as an actor. No, rappers do. They look at us where we're from. We can't help where we're from. We can't help that we are from the hood and we didn't have anything and we had to do certain things to get money. We can't help that. I'm sure Bruce Willis probably didn't have to do those things. So he's looked at as more as a law-abiding citizen. So our minds won't even go there. If he was to go to a court for something like that, they wouldn't even bring up his movies.
Because he gets to go be Bruce Willis when he goes home, and you don't get to go be Onika.
Right.
I understand.
Exactly.
Right. We're held to a different level of
You're always
judgment.
a character.
We just, from the beginning of time, we always have been. So I don't think they would ever bring up any movies that these, especially the white actors, do. Now, maybe a 50 Cent show or a movie, maybe they would do it to them. I think it's just about the culture. I think it's just about our culture. I think even if it was a black movie, sometimes they would do the same thing. I just don't think any culture that's predominantly white ever deals with that.
Are you aware Eric Adams, the New York mayor?
Oh, and about drill music?
Yeah. He said his son let him hear something and said, hey, this is dangerous shit. And then he went on the news and said this needs to be abolished or something of the sort. And then all the drill rappers responded.
That's what I was speaking towards.
Yeah, Eric Adams thinks that drill music is a threat, and it's the reason that New York City crime is increased.
Shame on him. Shame on him.
And shouldn't somebody else educate him outside of his child?
God.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, Eric Adams did what he did mainly because of the simple fact that people are rapping about real murders. Like, they're really rapping about stuff that's real. Like, so to me, that's the issue. Like, it's like even the names in these songs are, if you look up the names in the songs that the rappers are speaking on, of people that actually died. Like, know what I mean? So I think that's why Eric Adams was kind of thinking what he was thinking. But we do have to look at music as an art form. Now what's said in art, what's painted in art, a lot of times can be a little dark. So do y'all judge that with the same eye, or is it because of other reasons that you're saying that drill music isn't good? Because I mean, art can make you do some things, poetry can make you do some things, the movies, like you said, can make you do some things. So I don't know, I'm kind of like in the middle with it because I see both sides.
And shouldn't he spend more time on educating himself than just speaking about it the very next day?
Well, I think that, and what you just said, if we even just start looking at that, why is he doing that? The reason why he's probably doing that is to point the finger. Oh, hey, if anybody ever looks at my record as, mayor and whatever, it's this drill music. That's what it is. Let's get this out of here.
Pointing the finger.
Well, drill music wasn't around in the 80s. When everything was, why they had to do the Just Say No campaign and all this stuff, when it was all this drugs and murder rate crazy skyrocketing, was drill music there, Mr. Adams? No. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I think they blame rap music in the 80s too, though.
Oh my God. But they didn't blame rock stars rock and roll. Rock and roll has been at the front of doing, partying for a very long time. Drugs, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right?
Synonymous.
But when you see one of these white rock stars, our minds don't go on crime and drugs and all this bad stuff. Why?
It's a different image.
Thank you.
It's different treatment. Like I was about to ask you about just longevity in rap as a woman. But when you think of rock and rollers and you think longevity is what, 50, 60 years?
That's right.
You've been around how long now?
Well, I guess since, technically 2007. Technically 2007. So.
Do you feel the weight of being tasked with adding to what longevity as a woman in hip hop looks like today?
Of course.
Like, cause you're basically like I don't want to say the blueprint, but that's where we are now. We had Kim who had a run, we had Foxy who had a run, Lauren had a run, Missy had a run. Today though, you just kind of get to run and create and do as you please. It's a different era, it's a different time.
Yeah.
Is there pressure that comes with it?
It's a good interview.
Of course.
This is a real good interview.
Because,
I like this interview again because he is not attacking, but he is interviewing the person that Nicki Minaj is, not Nicki Minaj as the character. I love the mindset that he went into this with.
In the very beginning of my career, I would always say in interviews that I don't feel that female rappers were given their just due in terms of on a long-term spectrum. Like, in my opinion, how they, in my opinion, the female rappers before me, I would always say they should have retired as moguls, right? Like big, huge moguls. And I would say, why isn't there a female version of Jay-Z, who at that time, even when I was coming in, we could see that he was on moguls, that, what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, I'm going to be that person. I'm going to do that. And even what I've done, I haven't done what I want to do, what I need to do, what I will do yet. I know it because I'm talking about full out mogul. But did they have the opportunities? Did they have the same opportunities? That's like so many rappers at that time. Some of the biggest rappers, some of the most influential rappers, they've never made $1 million for a show. They've never made what they absolutely deserve based on the doors that they opened for others, based on their level of talent, their level of influence. They've never been rewarded for doing any of those things. And now they get to sit back and watch other artists who they know is not as talented as them, but just because of where we are with everything, with whether it's social media or rap being just the #1 genre of music or whatever in the world, they have to now sit back. I know that can't be easy for them to watch. Because now they have to watch that they can't send their grandchild, for instance, to college. Whereas with all of the jewels that they gave to the culture, they should have been able to send their grandkids to college based on what they put into this thing. But they didn't get that. So yes, it's always been my goal to show. You give everything away, you give it away, you give it up. Like, can't go and see your parents all the time. You can't go and, there's so many things you just give up. You might not, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you know what I mean? While everybody is enjoying their family and stuff like that. And then one day you wake up and years have gone by and people start to die. And then you look back and think to yourself, was it worth it?
Yeah, you missed out on so much time.
Missing the moments.
Missing all these moments that you'll never get back. Like, I remember one of the most devastating things in my life was missing. My little brother was graduating from elementary school. And I just remember screaming at my mother. I can't believe you didn't tell me, that he was graduating. And she basically was like, oh, I didn't think it was a big deal to you. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, yes, that's a big deal to me. That was a big thing. And for him to look out in that audience and not see his big sister, I was like, I remember I was in Europe at the time. And I told her I would have rearranged and rerouted my whole tour to make sure I was there to see him graduate. But little by little, even your family, even your loved ones, they start thinking, oh, I'm not going to bother him with this. I'm not going to bother her with that.
Yeah.
Instead of realizing, no, those are the things I need.
These things are important to me.
Yes,
It is so crazy seeing celebrities talk like this, because it's like they go so hard to get where they're at. And then once they're there, it's like all of them get to the point where they're like, was it all worth it? Like, for the regular life that I once had, being able to go to graduations and support people, was it worth it to risk all of that? Like, I look at artists like Rod Wave, where he's like, he misses his regular life. Summer Walker, she misses just not having attention, and Chris Brown, like, they go through all, Justin Bieber, like, you think of everybody that has came up from such a young age or just been famous for so long, they always get to this point where it's like, was it worth it? And it's crazy, like, that Nicki Minaj even got to that point. Personally never heard that side of Nicki. Now, I mean, for Nicki to speak like that, was it worth it? Because she couldn't go to her younger brother's elementary school graduation. That's crazy. Because look at where she's at. Think about how many people would love to be where she's at. But do they see this side of it? It's crazy.
It's important for you as a human being, as for your spirit, your soul, and as an artist. If you're not experiencing real life and real love and real heartfelt emotions, what are you writing about? And that's why everybody now is just writing about,
nothing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
A bunch of nothing, because that's why people always go back to, like, when an artist first came in, because we always have that hunger,
the most to say.
that pain, that this, because we're in it, we're in the moment. I have to remind myself now all the time, stay in the moment, get back in the moment. You just left the moment, come back to the moment. Because I'm always like thinking about what's tomorrow, what's next week, what's this tomorrow. I'm always like thinking about what's tomorrow, what's next week, what's this tomorrow. And there are magical things happening that I'm not experiencing. I'm there physically, but I'm not experiencing it because I'm not there.
How much time do you spend alone?
I love this.
Well,
I love this.
And that's got to be tough at this level.
I actually spend a lot of time alone. I love being alone, actually. I'm one of those people that I used to just love getting off a tour just so I could just be in my bedroom alone and watch TV and do whatever I wanted to do and just, I've never been one of those people that needs to go out to the club and stuff like that, or be around other people. But I think it is important, for me to try to do it. But to be honest, a lot. I mean, obviously my husband and my son, are always there, but I would say I spend a good amount of time in my own world, in my own little space.
Good. Okay. You mentioned earlier mogul, and that should be important at this juncture. What do you feel needs to be done or added for you to hit that vision, your vision of mogul?
Well, all of my beauty deals, like.
Tell me about the beauty deals. I don't know.
All of just
because I was gonna ask
makeup and hair and clothes and sneakers and da.
So you have all of those things happening.
I do. I have them happening, but there have been things that I put on hold in the last maybe year or two because obviously you never want to negotiate anything when you're not at your best in terms of what you're putting out into the world. Like, if you're a basketball player, you don't want to negotiate a deal when you've just had, when you haven't played, when you haven't been a starter or, for a long time. But you do want to negotiate that deal when you just been, a starter in every MVP in every last game. And, you've been putting up, 40 points a game. You know what I'm saying? You do want to negotiate your deals then because you're going to get what you're worth.
Yeah.
So I hadn't been putting out music, right? So.
But the last music you
sure
put
it's not
out was
copyrighted
received
real
well.
quick.
Well, no, because there was a lot of
Nope.
what's the word?
I just don't want to get no strikes.
Like remember with the Queen album, there was a lot of bullshit going on, and I don't think that it was presented correctly. It's not
Received well, but not presented correctly.
right. Yeah, and I don't think mentally I was in the right place. Even like with what I did afterwards. Like once that body of work was out, I don't think that I even presented myself correctly, in terms of what I was saying and how I was saying it.
Kind of
Dark time. Did you have to present something at that time?
No, I don't even think I should have put out an album at that time. I don't think that I was ready to put the album out. But it was something really stupid now that I think about it. Something stupid. I think it was like the VMAs were coming up, and then also one of my label mates was about to drop, and I wanted to make sure that she and I had our own week, each our own week, I think, and also be in time for the VMAs. It was something like that was going on, and that's stupid. You never base your art around an award show, around a photo, like around no, your art is your art. All that stuff can wait, because when the art is great, all that stuff comes. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to figure that out. It figures itself out, So I don't even think the album should have been put out at that time when it was, in my opinion.
So, like every artist, you decide to go away and get it right. Because last project was 4 years ago.
Right. Well, I was about
for
to.
you.
I would have been putting something out after that, but I got pregnant. So once I got pregnant, I had to fall back because I don't want to be shooting videos pregnant, and I didn't even feel like recording and saying certain things pregnant, and then COVID as well. It just so happened that the two huge things happened at the same time. And I can't tell you what it feels like to be pregnant during COVID. Just to even go to your doctor's appointments, it was so hectic to just, go in. Everybody has to be masked, and it's scary because you don't know, you just don't know, especially it's your first child. You feeling like, oh my God, what if I do something and, you just don't know what the hell
A lot
you're
of
doing.
precaution.
Yeah, and it's a weight, it's a heavy weight on your shoulder because of it. So I had to do that. I had to have the baby, and then COVID, and then once I had the baby, as a woman, you have to get back in shape and start, just getting also. But
Yo,
also,
that's so unfair for y'all, yo. Why is there like this window that y'all have to get back in shape, look the greatest, and be right back out? Like, why y'all can't just chill?
I guess you can. I mean, so many women do.
But there's a pressure.
There's a price you pay for taking too much time chilling, right? So you don't want to do that. But also, I also wanted to bond with my child. Like I see it sometimes, some people pop the baby out and I couldn't. I wanted to bond with my son. I didn't want to just have nannies around. He still doesn't have a nanny.
For real?
So he still has never had a nanny.
Go ahead.
Never. But it's very hectic, time consuming, because I did, I hired 4 nannies. They just didn't work out, so I'm just trying to get someone that I really love.
So you tried the nanny thing.
Oh, yes.
And wasn't compatible.
So far, but obviously we do have to get them acclimated with someone because
Yeah, because you're going to have to show up places on time at some point.
Yeah, and I have to travel outside the country. I have to do a bunch of stuff. I have to tour. Can't tour and be taking care of the baby and doing all that stuff and, be on stage every night.
So this is like a roller coaster now. You come off the album, there's COVID, there's pregnancy, there's a baby, I got to get back in the Nicki mode. Now you got to kind of relearn yourself.
Yeah, because I also went through writer's block, severe writer's block.
After the baby?
During the pregnancy.
You was writing a bunch of whack shit?
Huh?
You was writing whack shit?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Well, I wasn't even writing anything. I was trying, and I wouldn't have no ideas. I think I was too worried about the baby, or like I was just online Googling and YouTubing pregnant women all day. Like, oh, what did they do? How did they do? And it was so many women. Because what they do is just not celebrities, regular women. They document their journey, and it makes it so easy so that those questions that you might have, these women are telling you, what happens and answering questions, what to take to the. When you go to the hospital and how it's going to be raising a newborn and how much, sleep, just a bunch of stuff. So I was consumed with that because, I'm about to have a baby. I'm all the way in California. I don't have a bunch of family around me. What am I going to need to do? I wasn't thinking about no damn writing some hot raps.
Yeah, naturally so. How long did it take you to get acclimated or get out of writer's block?
Well, I came out of writer's block with Seeing Green. Literally, yes. Okay, so, and how that happened was I texted Drake one time and I was like, you know what? I want to put out, I was like, the label wants to put out Beam Me Up Scotty. And I was like, I can't put out a mixtape and not give them something new, right? I was like, yo, what's hot out right now that you think I should jump on? And instead of him telling me, he texted me back and said, jump on this. And I listened to the song, and I'm so out of it. I was like, oh, this is out already? Y'all put this out? It was because him and Wayne was already on it. And he was like, no. I was like, oh, my God. So I kept on trying to write to it. I couldn't think of anything. I mean, everything I was saying was just so stupid and bad.
And those is the two last niggas you want to be whack with.
Exactly. Nobody knows what type of pressure that was. I sent Drake like 6 different verses.
Yo, but you know what's funny about you? Like, from the outside looking in, of course. Like, you invite that pressure from the niggas that spit.
I do.
Right? Even now. Like, not one Lil Baby song, it's 2 Lil Baby songs. And he on there going crazy. You listening thinking, she's back at it again. Just pairing herself with the niggas that's...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you like that pressure?
Oh, I need that pressure. I have to have a sparring partner. Like, how do people get great? I mean, I don't want to...
But you always put yourself just in the category of the niggas.
Right.
Like, you make it a point to say, yo, don't just put me with them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, put me with them.
Well, it's because that's what I fell in love with about rap. I fell in love with, and everybody falls in love with different things. I fell in love with who spit the hottest rap, who spit the hottest verse on this song. That's just how I always been. So I gravitated to like Foxy Brown because I felt like she used to spit like a dude. Oh my God,
Love Foxy.
Yeah, like her precision was just like, even till this day, I think her precision in the way she pronounces everything and her clarity is just unmatched. And that's what I wanted to be like, I was never thinking about what everybody probably thinks I was thinking about. I was thinking about, Biggie and Jay-Z and these types of people who had the better verse on this and who had the better verse on that. That's always what intrigued me. So now when people I think at one point, people tried to bully me out of that mindset. Like, so that the bar could be lowered for women. Why does it have to be about dope raps? You're a rapper. Who cares about if the rap is dope? Could you imagine telling Michael Jordan basketball shouldn't be about just how many baskets, how many times you hit from the free throw line, how many 3-point shots you made, that's how many rebounds, how many. Can you imagine telling Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali it shouldn't be about your technique?
No.
No one would ever say that to these people. These are people, the greats in sports. But as soon as it comes to rap and female rap, they wanted me to start lowering the bar and starting to say, yeah, it doesn't matter. Get your raps written. Have bad verses. Have not thought out verses. Say anything. Who cares? It's just music. But to me, that's not what it is. And now, if that's what it is to you, you have every right to do that. But if it's not that to me, why should I say it is?
You don't have to.
And I didn't, and I don't.
It's probably safer to.
All right, so I'm not gonna steal their whole video. You guys can go on the Joe Budden podcast channel to watch the full interview. I just wanted to, do my reaction to the beginning because I know she was stating a lot of her insecurities and stuff like that. So I really just wanted to emphasize in this video that no matter where you are in life, everybody has insecurity. So where you think, a lot of us have anxiety, all right? And our anxiety comes from our insecurities on either thinking that people perceive us a certain type of way, or not knowing how they perceive us, or just not feeling like you're good enough. Insecurities and anxiety usually comes from that. But as you can see, even the people that the masses look up to have insecurities. They have moments like she just spilled a lot of beans about herself that we never knew. We never knew. So we're thinking that, okay, this character that she portrays and she shows, it can't be phased. That's Nicki Minaj, y'all. That's Nicki Minaj. She's a human. If she's a human, you're a human. We're all humans. So we all have insecurities. We all have things we want to fix about ourselves. But even she said, I wish I would have appreciated my body more. I wish I would have appreciated things more. So where you may look at it as an insecurity, that's just what makes you significant. All right. There's nothing wrong with not being perfect. There's no perfect way to be. There is no perfect way to be. God made us all different for a reason. He made us all different so we could all be individuals. If we was all the same, we wouldn't be individuals. So I feel like young ladies, young men, older ladies, respectfully, we can all learn from this. That's the queen of rap right now. That's the queen of rap. Admitting what she has went through the industry, how the process was not perfect for her, how there has been bumpy roads, but she still was able to overcome those bumpy roads. It has not been perfect. It has not always been glamour and pink hair, but she got there. I think that's the part that a lot of people miss. A lot of people miss the part that's not beautiful because we on Instagram, social media, and publicizing anything that's of your choice, you usually don't publicize what wasn't perfect, what doesn't look good. So the masses believe that, okay, no, there is a perfect is possible. The process is never perfect. What you want in life is never going to just come easily. We all have shortcomings. It's all about how you perceive it. The things that you don't like about yourself, that you think other people don't like about yourself, let me tell you right now, the way you perceive yourself is how other people will perceive you. I know people that, they have things about themselves that they don't like, but the way they portray it to the world that they like it, the world loves it. So the way you perceive yourself, the way you perceive your situation is how people will respect it. But what I do want you guys to leave with is that people's opinions do not matter. People's opinions do not matter, okay? They do not matter. All right, so leave all that anxiety, insecurity, leave all that stuff at home, because understand that, look, nobody is perfect. Nicki Minaj herself just said that there was something about her she didn't like, So don't think there is a certain type of way you should be. You know, however you are, it is exactly how you should be. It's beautiful. You know, but anyways, man, hey, man, I learned a lot from this video, whatever. I love seeing Nicki in this element, speaking from the personal point of view and not so much the character, because it's the person that we could connect with. It's the character that we like, we enjoy, but it's the person that we could connect with, we can learn. I mean, that vulnerable side that we could connect with. That's why I really enjoyed this interview, and I want to share that part with you guys. But anyways, man, hey, man, it's your boy Ty Boogie. Feel free to go watch the rest of the interview on Joe Budden's podcast. And yeah, man, if y'all want to see more videos, make sure you comment below, you know, and all that good stuff. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on my post notifications, and all that. Hey, man, it's your boy Ty Boogie. Until next time, I'm out of here, man. Peace.